Welcome along then to our preview of the Premier League weekend 9 then in England's top flight as the domestic action returns after the international break. And we've got three games that we've sunk our teeth into. James Mason and next to me Tom McGarry that have got our thoughts on this. And we'll start with the early game on Saturday then. It takes place at 12:30 at Goodison Park as Everton take on West Ham United. Now the prices for this one, a home win is 10 to 11, the favourite price. A draw is at 11 to 4, while the away win is at 14 to 5. Now that looks a big price for the Hammers. No win in 3 for Manuel Pellegrini's men in all competitions, but they go up against an Everton side that have lost their last 4 games in the Premier League. Are you maybe suggesting the Hammers can get this one, Tom?
Well, they're certainly the value price, aren't they? I know they've been on a slightly disappointing run of form themselves, but they're still 8th in the table, pushing towards those top 6, top 4 places, which is exactly what Everton wanted to do at the start of the campaign. But the Toffees in the relegation zone, as you mentioned, 4 defeats on the spin, a 5th in a row. Could be terminal for Marco Silva. It's getting to that stage, losing at Burnley last time out, where it looks like the writing is almost on the wall. Before then, there was an encouraging performance in losing at home to Manchester City, and Everton are better on their own patch. At Goodison they tend to be pretty strong, but if they were to lose this game they'd remain in the bottom 3, and I think the value is with West Ham, and really we could be looking at a big weekend where Marco Silva could even lose his job.
Yeah, Marco Silva, one of many managers at the minute in the Premier League that are under pressure. But let's move on to the second game then at Villa Park as Aston Villa take on Brighton. An old-fashioned 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. Now Villa, they're 27 to 20 to win on home soil. A draw is at 2 to 1, while the away win is 12 to 5. Now, this should be an interesting game because both sides come into this one off the back of victories. Villa had a 5-1 thumping of Norwich City. As for Brighton, they had that superb 3-0 victory against the struggling Tottenham Hotspur. What are you thinking for this one, Tom?
Well, I think it should be a much more exciting game than it potentially first looks on paper. As you mentioned there, 5-1, Villa won at Norwich. Brighton, their best performance of the season in convincingly beating Tottenham, and earthing as well. Players like Aaron Connolly who are coming to the fore now. Graham Potter, the Seagulls manager, starting to get his philosophy across. They're playing a much more attractive brand of football than they were last season. So I think this could be a game that has plenty of goals, plenty of goal-mouth action. I do just fancy Villa with home advantage. They've got 7 points from their last 3 games as well, starting to really look like a side that can push on and perhaps even finish in mid-table rather than fighting against relegation. So for me, I just lean slightly towards Aston Villa.
Yeah, Aston Villa then gets the nod. Let's move on to the third and final game because it is the feature game of the weekend on Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Manchester United take on Liverpool at Old Trafford. Now United, they're 19 to 5 to get the home win, 16 to 5 for the draw, and away win is the favourite price. That is 5 to 6 on for Liverpool. Unsurprisingly, the Reds are favourite. They're a perfect 8 from 8 in the Premier League so far. As for United, well, they had a dismal 1-0 defeat at Newcastle United last time out. We've spoken about Silva, the Everton boss, under pressure. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is another one. There's maybe even an argument here, Tom, to suggest that United should be a bigger price.
Yeah, potentially so. Their form has been really diabolical by their standards this season. They had that 4-0 victory against Chelsea on the opening day. It's just 1 in 7 in the league that they've won since then. They're stuttering in Europe as well. It's really uncomfortable for Manchester United supporters at the moment, especially when you're looking at Liverpool. 8 wins from 8, top of the Premier League table, 8 points clear as well. They're in fantastic form. 5 to 6 is actually a good price for them as well, considering nobody seems to be able to even get a draw off them at the moment. I mean, everything points towards a Liverpool victory. There's just that niggling, sneaking suspicion. It's a derby match. Anything can happen. Manchester United will be so up for this game, determined to prove their doubters wrong, bounce back from that Newcastle defeat where they were so poor. So I think logic, the head says Liverpool might go on and win this game and might win it quite comfortably, but there's just that slight seed of doubt where you never know. United could get the result.
Potentially so then. They're the 3 games we've looked into then. It looks to be a cracking weekend in the Premier League. There are thoughts. Let us know yours via our social media channels. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube.